fresh corruption allegations have emerged against Edmonton Mayor Amarjeet Sohi. Evidence suggests that while he was a city councillor, the city of Edmonton awarded contracts worth upwards of millions of dollars to a trucking company owned and fully controlled by his brother Harkesh Sohi and some of his election donors. This is a developing story.
People like this, usually, they can't sleep at night.
Bob Rai, an aggregate supplier who previously presented evidence suggesting corrupt conduct by Amarjeet Sohi while he was a federal minister, has now brought forth additional evidence of corruption during Sohi's tenure as an Edmonton city councillor.
So Amarjeet Sohi is not only enriching his family members through corrupt, nefarious conduct at a municipal level, but also he did this for many years at a federal level, both in Canada as well as Canada and the United States.
If that could be halfway proved.
In my previous report, I interviewed Dr. Gary Bodding, the leading authority on extradition law, to determine whether Amarjeet Sohi could be extradited by the United States. According to Dr. Bodding, if the allegations can be partially proven and the US believes it has a prima facie case, extradition is possible.
They are prepared to extradite.
Absolutely. There are many investigations that are pending right now against Amarjeet Sohi and his family members, and I believe that once a thorough forensic audit is conducted on him and his family members, both in the United States and in Canada, I think that he would definitely be a prime candidate for prison.
In my previous report, I brought forth the fact that Sohi did not include the trucking company his brother Harkesh is involved with in his conflict of interest disclosure to the federal government while serving as the infrastructure minister. Sohi would later facilitate that company, White Rock Ventures, to get a contract at a federally funded project, the Regina Bypass Project.
Who is the main hauling provider for you guys?
We do have WRV. Last winter we had 60 of their trucks out.
You were at that meeting on February 21st, were you not? Where the infrastructure minister was in Regina at the trucker meeting?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I thought so. From our research, we know that Amarjeet Sohi's middle brother, Harkesh Sohi, and a bunch of companies, including White Rock Ventures, have been awarded many contracts by the city of Edmonton while Amarjeet Sohi was an elected representative, either in the capacity of a city councillor or a mayor. White Rock Ventures is a gravel trucking company operated by Harkesh Sohi, who is the middle brother of Amarjeet Sohi, as well as other financial donators for Sohi's election campaigns. And Amarjeet Sohi was not disclosing these conflicts of interest and doing his due diligence. Instead, he was condoning giving contracts to his family members and enriching them at the behest of City of Edmonton taxpayers.
Given the complex nature of this story, I prepared this animation to summarize the previous and new corruption allegations against Amarjeet Sohi. After a failed attempt to win a seat as a city councillor in Edmonton in 2004, he became a councillor in 2007 and kept his seat for 2 terms until 2015. In his campaign disclosure statement from 2011, White Rock Ventures is listed as a contributor. Sohi left municipal politics to become the infrastructure minister in 2015. The Liberals made sure to give him an easy win by disqualifying other Liberal candidates. Sohi was one of the candidates supported by the World Sikh Organization among candidates such as Navdeep Bains and Harjit Sajjan. In his conflict of interest declaration, Sohi did not mention his brother Harkesh's involvement with White Rock Ventures. Both Sohi and Sajjan would hire the sons of former president of World Sikh Organization to high-ranking positions. In 2016, the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Economic Development, under the watch of Minister Navdeep Bains, awarded a sole source contract valued at almost $20,000 to White Rock Ventures.
To conduct yourself such as a person like Amarjeet Sohi is a disgrace to life itself. He can't sleep at night. He does not have any friends. He has to live in fear because he has done nothing but criminal actions in his tenure as a politician here in Canada.
In 2016, White Rock Ventures will be contracted to haul gravel in a federally funded project known as the Regina Bypass Scandal. According to sources, Amarjeet Sohi secretly flew to Regina, Saskatchewan, to facilitate White Rock Ventures' enrichment. During his tenure as a minister, he also involved himself with the Gordie Howe International Bridge project. Now, new evidence has emerged showing that during the years of Sohi's tenure as a city councillor, White Rock Ventures was given upwards of millions of dollars in contracts by the city of Edmonton. In 2012, White Rock Ventures received an 8-year contract worth upwards of $500,000 for construction equipment. In 2013, the city awarded White Rock Ventures a year-long contract for a loader for snow removal, also valued at upwards of $500,000. That same year, a similar contract for snow removal was awarded, up to $100,000 in value. In 2016, when Sohi left municipal politics for the federal office, his brother's company continued to get contracts from the city. A 2-year contract for $500,000 was given to White Rock Ventures to haul outside city limits. In 2019 elections, Liberal Amarjeet Sohi would lose his seat from Edmonton Mill Woods to Conservative opponent Tim Upel. Now the question is, did Amarjeet Sohi disclose White Rock Ventures in his conflict of interest disclosures to the city of Edmonton during those years? And if he did, why did he not disclose it to the federal government?
The Premier of Alberta, Danielle Smith, needs to ensure that residents of her province are not violated by third world country immigrant corrupt Canadian politicians. And she needs to do her due diligence instead of cross-contaminating herself by pandering to organizations and fake religious / extremist temples for a few petty votes.
During the years of Amarjeet Sohi serving as an Edmonton city councillor, managers at the city of Edmonton had no framework or guidelines to detect and assess conflict of interest. In 2019, the Edmonton's Office of the City Auditor conducted an audit to measure the adequacy of Edmonton's conflict of interest program. The auditor found that the city had no clear and coordinated governance framework to manage conflict of interest. On top of having no guidelines, framework, or structure to assess conflict of interest, the auditor pointed out that the management didn't adhere to the reporting process existent within the Code of Conduct Administrative Directive, which hasn't been updated since 2002.
There was rampant corruption while Amarjeet Sohi served as a councillor, and there's rampant corruption now while he's serving as a mayor. I believe in the last 18 months, 7 procurement high-level managers for the city of Edmonton have resigned and left their positions because they're afraid they don't want to get caught with Amarjeet Sohi or contamination from Amarjeet Sohi.
Recent news reports paint a concerning picture of the decline Edmontonians are enduring. So concerning that the provincial government under the leadership of Danielle Smith has considered auditing the city of Edmonton.
In regards to Danielle Smith's recent comments that, she is extending a hand to help Amarjeet Sohi fix up the books by conducting an audit against the city of Edmonton, I think that these comments have no force because I don't think she has the courage to audit a World Sikh organization corrupt mayor. I feel that at a federal level, all political parties in Canada function as a uniparty, and at a provincial level, it's no different. I have a message for people that like to get their pictures taken with Amarjeet Sohi. There's nothing to be proud of in having a picture taken with a terrorist criminal. It's more of a shameful picture that should be recognized at and not something to be proud of. He was imprisoned in India in the late 1980s, early 1990s for being a Khalistani terrorist. The Prime Minister of Canada at that time, that was another corrupt individual named Brian Mulroney, and another corrupt member of Parliament, his name was David Kilgour. They pressurized the Indian government to release this terrorist that was not even a Canadian citizen. Through applying pressure with trade, the Indian government was left no other option but to release this terrorist.
Media Bezirgan has reached out to Amarjeet Sohi on multiple occasions, but the mayor did not respond. In other interviews, Sohi maintained that he was a political prisoner. But as I reported in my previous reports, his rise to power is also as questionable as his past.
He served two of the most prestigious portfolios in federal politics in Canada, namely the Canadian Infrastructure and Communities Minister and Natural Resources Minister of Canada, with maybe a grade 10 education. When he came to Canada, he took English as a second language, but he was made in charge by the negligent conduct of the uniparty Liberal Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Another point worth mentioning is that in the same federal conflict of interest disclosure, Amarjeet Sohi omitted any mention of his brother Harkesh and his involvement with White Rock Ventures. Moreover, it seems like Sohi consistently avoids mentioning his brother's name in other disclosures.
Speaker, I rise today to remember
In 2018, roughly 2.5 years after Sohi's father passed away, Sohi declared joint ownership of land in Punjab, India, with 2 individuals. Given that Sohi has 2 brothers, it raises the question, is one of these owners Harkesh Sohi? Why did Sohi find it important to disclose the joint ownership of this land, but not the names of the co-owners? What kind of land is this? Farmland or commercial land? Are Amarjeet and Harkesh business partners? How many more sole source contracts did White Rock Ventures receive from other ministries? How much have Edmonton taxpayers paid to White Rock Ventures so far? What we know may just be the tip of the iceberg.
The province of Alberta, including its investigative agencies, are not in a capacity to audit the city of Edmonton. It should be a neutral, non-biased, forensic auditing third-party firm, preferably not from Canada, that has no political affiliations. Amarjeet Sohi has been a politician for a lot of years, and throughout his years, he has bought off many, many people.
The evidence he has compiled through the years certainly warrants further investigation into both the Regina Bypass scandal and the Gordiev International Bridge scandal. These aren't just my views, these are the words of Dr. Gary Botting, the leading expert in extradition law.
So that bears investigation. It certainly bears questioning. And that's where Bobby comes in, because Bobby Rai is meticulous in his research and has the complete oversight of, oversight in the sense of a broad vision, and is able to put everything into perspective. The mechanism is there, it's just a matter of who's willing to apply it. And what Crown Counsel or what prosecutor, what Attorney General is prepared to say, this deserves further examination, this deserves a commission of inquiry, or this deserves at least to go to the ethics commissioner, as long as the individual is still in government.
The ball is now in the courts of the RCMP and FBI. Learn more about Amarjeet Sohi's conduct at reginascandal.com and about the international scandal at gordiehowscandal.com. I'm awaiting ATIPs to confirm whether Mayor Sohi ever declared his brother Harkesh's involvement with White Rock Ventures to the city of Edmonton. Exposing high-profile corruption in Canada carries significant costs, from production expenses to security needs. Your support is vital for maintaining editorial independence and continuing to deliver truthful news. If you would like to support my work, please donate at mediabizergan.com/donate. Thank you.